and thank you for serving in our Planas classroom. This is an exciting week because this is the first week of our Christmas lessons. We are super excited to be doing them because they're a little bit different. It's a little bit of a break from our kids' story, and we get to get into the holiday season and just learn about the true meaning of the season. So I just wanted to share with you what we were going to be doing. I wrote everything out. I have everything prepped for you, so there's not much that you have to do on your end, but just learn the Bible story and read over your lesson and just be prepared for the kids on Sunday. So for this lesson, I'm just looking at my notes. You're going to start out the class in a regular icebreaker. You sit down in the circle and you're going to ask them the question, would you rather ride a donkey or carry a heavy backpack? And that question does tie into our lesson a little bit later on. And after you do that, you will read the Bible story and watch the video. I did like the video on YouTube. For some reason, with kid videos, you can't really save them, but I can like them on our Branches YouTube channel. And if you go to the liked videos, you'll be able to easily find them there. And so for this lesson, there are 4 different parts that go to it, and it's kind of like an object lesson where there's like a physical, tangible item that is tied into our lesson. So I'll give you a little bit of an example. So for the first part, you're gonna talk about after you're going through the verses, or after you read the verses and you watch the video. This is where you'll sit down and you will go through the meat of the lesson. So God promised a Savior. So I have already wrapped a gift for you. It is in a gift bag. I stapled it shut so the kids can't peek, and you're gonna hold that up and you're gonna say, oh, who doesn't like to wait? And you're gonna talk about waiting to open gifts, and that will tie into about how God's people had to wait hundreds of years for the promised Savior. And at the end, you can open up the little gift and let them take one. It's actually just pencils, but Christmas pencils, but just something fun to tie into the lesson. And then the next part is about Mary and Joseph trusting God's plan. And then the next part will be about the journey is difficult. So for this part of the lesson, I have a heavy backpack. I put like a ream of paper and some books in there, Bibles, I think. But you can let a few kids try on the backpacks and talk about how heavy it is. And then you can tie that into about how Mary and Joseph didn't have a choice. They had to make this difficult journey, and talk about Mary being pregnant. I did write in the lesson things for you to say, but you may also just put your own twist and add your special teaching abilities and the special things that you bring to the classroom to this lesson. So then the next part would be about a little movement game, and that's going to tie it into how God had led them to the right place at the right time. And then the last part is going to be a quick little game, and it is called King or Stable, and that is talking about how Jesus was born humbly, but he is our king. And for that game, there are 2 bins. Everything, like I said, is prepped for you, ready to go. There's 2 bins, and one is labeled king and one is labeled stable. And then in the bag, you pull out an item and you will show it to the kids. Would this go in the stable bin or would this go in the king bin? And it's like, you know, a crown, some farm animals and stuff like that. And you can use that. And then we're going to talk about it. There's just 2 discussion questions that you can go through. And also for each lesson, there is a memory verse, and I printed and cut out the memory verses for you to give the kids to take home. There's a fun memory verse game that you can play if time allows, and also an optional craft. And then there is a quick recap game where it's true or false, where the kids stand up if it's true and sit down if it's false, that you can play. Everything is written out for you. And there is also a Christmas song that is also on the liked section on YouTube that goes along with the lesson. It's kind of like a little catchy song that they can listen to while they do their craft. And if you don't have time for the craft, you can also send that home with the kids. That will be prepped for them to easily just grab it and take it. And then the last thing, one of the main things that I wanted to show you is I printed out, I made these little Christmas passports. So at the end of each class, since this is the first class, I would like you to just hand them out, have them write their name on it, and then they will get a passport, and they're not stickers. I printed them. So you just have to give them a glue stick and let them glue their first passport on for going through the first journey to learning about Jesus's birth and their first journey of Christmas. And then if you could collect these, this way next week they can get their next passport sticker and so on, and then we'll give it to them at the end. But But if you have any questions, please text me or email me, and I'll be happy to help you in any way. But thank you so much for serving. We appreciate you so much, and we are so thankful that you get to make Christmas time special for the kids. Thank you, and bye.